All right. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the first event in a series with BeMetals live from around the world. We're joined today by Derek Iwanaka, the Vice President, Investor Relations and Corporate Development at BeMetals, who is joining us live from Cape Town. So Derek's going to provide us a brief update, and then we will be taking questions live. So if you have any, feel free to submit them. And also as a reminder, this is being recorded and available to watch afterwards on 6.com. But without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to you, Derek, to kick it off and let us know how things are going.
Okay, thanks, Dasha. I wish I had brought some better equipment with me, but anyways, this is a first in our series. We're going to try to broadcast a little update from every city. Basically, I was in talks with Maxim at 6 and told him that I was going on a road show, hitting up Cape Town, Frankfurt, Zurich, London, and potentially Geneva. And it looks like we are going to do Geneva. And he said, well, why don't you try actually doing like a vlog and report from each city that you're going to? Maybe investors might be interested in that. So I said, okay, let's just give it a shot. So that's basically the premise as to why we're trying this. I wanted to give investors a glimpse into kind of what we do on the road. And so here I am, actually, I'm in the one-to-one mining investment conference here in Cape Town. I'll try to show a little bit of what this area looks like just so you have an idea. Hopefully it looks okay. So this area is kind of a lounge area where you can get some food and drinks. You can see the delegates coming in and out. This is kind of the patio where they're just about to start having some cocktail reception here because the conference is just about to wrap up in about a half an hour or so. I'll tell you a little bit about what one-to-one is about and give you kind of a glimpse into, I guess, what we're doing here. So it's basically speed dating for investors. So we have, I understand anyways, there's supposed to be about 100 issuing companies that are meeting with investors from around the world. Today I met with investors from Japan, Australia, United States, Canada, of course, South Africa, and Switzerland. So a number of different investors. They're ranging from large institutions. Some of them are high net worth individuals. There are some small family offices. There's some trading companies, some major companies, as in major producing companies that are also doing financing and acquisitions of smaller companies or doing project financing. So a number of different investor types here. I think there's supposed to be about 400 investors here. So over the last 2 days, I'm not sure you can see this, but that's what my schedule looked like over the last 2 days. So essentially, I met with about 24 different companies. Here's a little bit more proof of kind of who we're meeting. Not sure if you could see this, but these are just a smattering of various business cards of people we met just in the last 2 days. So I'm here with John Wilton, our CEO. He's actually just in a meeting right now, so no break for him yet, but I just broke off to basically report to you all, give you a glimpse into kind of what the conference is about, what we're doing here in Cape Town. So we met with 24 meetings over the course of the last 2 days. From here, we actually go down to the Mining Indaba conference, which is effectively about 5 kilometers down the road from where we are right now, and meeting again more investors from around the world, with I would guess obviously a focus on Africa based companies. So a lot of mining companies from Africa are here, but in addition to that, I mean, there's, I'd say, at least a quarter of the companies that are here are from Canada. Another maybe half or so look like they're from Australia, so a number of ASX listed companies. And I'll just try walking down into the conference area just so you can have a look into what the area looks like. So John and I, we are meeting with a bunch of investors here. We have basically like a little booth area where we sit there and investors come to us. We get 30 minutes basically to do a pitch to them, explain why they like or they should invest in BeMetals. And then from there, they grill us basically with all their questions. So you might not be able to hear me clearly, but I'm just going to show you what it looks like inside. So here's the meeting boards. You can see the various companies and sponsors at the conference. This is what the aisles look like. So you have various people meeting investors at the various booths. So that's kind of what it looks like. We're just about to wrap up, so it's actually just starting to empty out. So I think there's one more slot of meetings to go, and then yeah, the conference will wrap up, and then we'll head down to the Mining Adaba conference. So that was kind of the gist of it. Hopefully you got a glimpse into the day in the life of a mining executive and kind of some of the stuff that we do. We will be doing some more mini webinars to give you another glimpse into the various cities. So we'll head to Frankfurt next. I might even try to report from the Mining Adaba maybe later on this week, but that's about it for now. If you have any questions, happy to answer them if I can. Otherwise, if you want to email us or questions or send us an email, that's great too. So you can reach me at info@bemetalscorp.com. I guess that's about it, Dasha, unless you have some questions.
No, thanks so much. It's actually super cool to see what a day in the life is. And thanks for the update. We do have one question here. Hopefully you can hear me. Alexander's asking, what are the main due diligence concerns voiced by investors?
Sorry, what was that?
Alexander's asking, what are the main due diligence concerns voiced by investors?
Main due diligence. Okay, that's a great question. So far, I think a lot of people, I guess because of the pandemic, a lot of people have not been able to meet in person. And so basically they want to look people in the eyes and actually see if these guys are telling the truth, have a better idea of what people are like. And, you know, in conferences like this where it's in person, you actually get a chance to see people in a, you know, unscripted, informal way. So you can, you know, if you look around, people are having drinks, maybe grabbing a bite. They're able to meet on a informal basis and get to know each other a little bit better, which you're never going to be able to do on a Zoom call. So that's, I guess, the first step is to actually meet these people and get a better idea of what they're like. Secondly, people are pretty interested in what jurisdictions are in. Obviously, there's some tough countries out there that you may not want to necessarily operate in. So that seems to be a pretty common question. And then a lot of the guys, it's pretty interesting here that a lot of the fund managers seem to be accompanied by technical people. So they might be a geologist or an engineer or sometimes both. And they'll accompany a fund manager who probably doesn't have a geological or technical experience or knowledge, but they'll have somebody accompanying them that helps them do the due diligence. Basically, it's to detect the BS of some of the companies, quite honestly, out there. So I guess hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think he just wanted to have an idea of what investors were asking you. But yeah, thank you so much, Derek. It was really cool to see. I'm going to try to yell so you can hear me, but really cool to see what you guys are up to. And I'm looking forward to continuing hearing these updates from all the different cities that you guys are hitting up. So, of course, as Derek said, if anyone has questions and wants to submit them, feel free to email directly to Derek or BeMetals, and they'll follow up with you directly. There's also more information on their website. But stay tuned for more updates to come from different cities that Derek and BeMetals are hitting up. So thank you so much, Derek. I'll let you go back to your busy day. But thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Sasha. Thanks, everybody. So hello, everybody. Derek Iwanaka here live from Frankfurt. I just was in our luncheon presentation with our CEO and President, John Wilton. Yeah, kind of a bit of a last minute presentation, but I just wanted to report here from Frankfurt live. We're doing a luncheon presentation for about 30 people, high net worth individuals, some fund managers, some family office type people. First time we've been in Frankfurt now for the last almost 2.5 years. In fact, the last time we were here was right before COVID started. I think it was in January 2020. So nice to see everybody, or at least some of the people that we saw back then. And for a lot of them, it will be new or probably a refresher since they haven't seen any companies coming by for the last couple of years. But this is, just a kind of a glimpse into what we're doing. Last time I reported, I was in Cape Town after about a 13-hour, actually 2 flights, 13 hours later, or actually it was more than that. I guess it was about 15 hours after layovers. I am now in Frankfurt. We are doing a day of meetings here in Frankfurt with investors for BeMetals. And then tomorrow I'm going to be heading to Zurich to do another luncheon presentation. Smaller audience, but high net worth individuals and a couple fund managers that we're going to be meeting in Switzerland tomorrow, and then followed by a trip to London to meet some investors in London. Each kind of city has its own type of investors, a little bit different flavor of presentation. So I just want to get a little bit of recording of what it's like here in Frankfurt. So I'll just show you a little bit around. I'm just in the Sofitel Hotel here, and then I'm going to show you a little bit of the luncheon presentation so you can all have a look. And then I can open up to questions in case anybody has any questions. I'm just going to peek in here.
Right. The deepest we are in section about 350 meters below surface. So in the mining world, not too deep. We think this is geologically most similar to a project in north of Mexico called Nika. And Nika historically was a 35 million ton project. However, these are quite complex geometries, so quite intense in terms of the amount you have to drill, but worth that time it takes because very high grade mineralization. And we think also going on with USA.
Okay. So sorry, I had to sneak in and sneak out of there so I didn't see people. First time for a lot of them to come out to a presentation for a Canadian company. And it's first time really for us to get on the road and really start to market again. So I'd be happy to answer any questions if there are any questions. I know it's going to be pretty tough today considering it's a very early morning for anybody in North America right now. So don't expect any questions, but if there are, happy to answer them.
Great. Thank you so much for the update, Derek. Look forward to following you around the world and hearing more from other cities. No questions at the moment, but we'll tune back in tomorrow and the day after and follow the rest of the journey with BeMetals.
Okay. Thanks, Dasha. Thanks, everybody. See you from Zurich next.
Great. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our third installment of our series, BeMetals Meeting Investors Around the World. Today, I am in beautiful Zurich, Switzerland. Today, we're going to be meeting a number of high net worth individuals and a couple fund managers. Beautiful day here today. I'm just by the river. I'll give you a little glimpse into what around here this morning. I have a couple hours before our presentation, so I just want to take a quick look around town. Beautiful area, famous bear clock. We are just along the river here. I was just admiring the river here because Even though it's going right through the city, I can see all kinds of, looks like trout swimming in the water here. So just very clean, orderly country and city, especially a lot of people riding bikes, and there were a lot of scooters earlier, but just a high level of, I would say, income, but not only that, education. Everybody here seems to speak multiple languages. There's a lot of electric vehicles, a lot of scooters, a lot of people on bikes. Very healthy, fit people in general, despite some of the very rich and oily food that we had yesterday. But yeah, this is just a glimpse into what it looks like here in Zurich today. It's not all glamorous, but here we go, walking the streets of Zurich. On to our next presentation here. Hello everybody, it is me again. Today I am reporting from Zurich, Switzerland. This is the third summit in our series of BeMetals meeting investors around the world. Beautiful day here in Zurich. We have now completed, well, this is our third day. Yesterday we just finished having a luncheon presentation with about 30 kind of high net worth individuals, a couple fund managers, and John did an excellent presentation for those people. We had some good feedback. Hopefully we'll see some buying coming into the market. Last night we traveled over to Zurich by train, arrived here today, took a look around town. It's beautiful. It's just so orderly here. Obviously there is a lot of wealth in Switzerland in general. They boast some of the highest GDP per capita. With that wealth, there's some very large companies as well. I mean, there's Glencore here, Nestle based here, Rolex, a lot of other well-known brand names that are based here in Switzerland. And so we figured what better place in the world to come than here to look for investors. So, you know, predominantly I would say Swiss investors have been geared towards precious metals, but we just finished up our luncheon presentation today. We had a half a dozen, actually 7 people, high net worth individuals and fund managers here today. Small, intimate luncheon presentation. We didn't do this summit live today just because it was a little bit too disruptive to have us videoing in such a small room. But we had a good attendance. Presentation was well done. And we had some really good questions. A lot of, I think there was a really good discussion had here today. We'll have to see how the follow-up goes from here on in. But this is, this is our third day. We are heading off to London this evening. We're going to do another day of meetings in London, a different format over there. We're just going to be doing Zoom call meetings for Thursday and Friday of this week. And then I'm going back to Vancouver, and we'll put all these videos together. If any of you like the videos that we've been doing, I encourage you to like these videos or share them with your friends or followers. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me at Iwanaka at BeMetalsCorp.com, or you can just visit our website, www.BeMetalsCorp.com. Thanks for joining us today, and hopefully seeing you again soon. Okay, just wrapped up another presentation here in Zurich. Now we're heading off to the airport to go head to London, and another day of meetings in London. Ciao. Okay, we're just about to leave Zurich Airport. Next stop, London, Heathrow.
All right, well, welcome everyone to the last event in the series with BeMetals meeting investors around the world. I'm very pleased to introduce Derek Iwanaka, the Vice President, Investor Relations and Corporate Development at BeMetals, who is joining us live from London. Derek's going to provide us with a quick update on how the trip has been, and then, of course, we'll open the floor up to questions. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to submit them at any time, and we'll try to get to them after Derek's update. So thanks so much for joining, and I'll pass it to you, Derek.
Thanks, Sasha, and hello to everybody who's there live with us. It's been a heck of a last 2 weeks. John and I have gone from Cape Town to Frankfurt to Zurich and now to London. We've met literally investors around the world, so it's kind of funny that we knew we were going to be meeting investors all over, but we literally have been meeting investors around the world the last 2 weeks. This is kind of, I feel like it's like the opening of the world. People are starting to get back to meeting in person, and meeting down at the Indaba was terrific. In Cape Town last week, we met all kinds of new people that I would never have met if I had just stayed in Vancouver. So I do really feel like things are opening up. Investors are starting to look around it and get more active. The junior markets have been crummy, to say the least. We've watched a number of smaller, well, not even just smaller, but larger companies also tumbling quite dramatically. So, pretty good time to be looking at picking up or making positions in stocks, I would say right now. So I've purchased some stock myself, and so have others in our insider group for BeMetals. So we think it's a great time, and we are finally drilling in Japan. So we really figured the timing couldn't be better for us to go on a marketing roadshow. But yeah, it's been an interesting contrast between each country. Starting off in Cape Town last week, moving up to Frankfurt and meeting with a number of high net worth individuals and hearing their perspectives on the markets, on inflation, on politics, everything. Really contrasting viewpoints between each place, and then moving over to Zurich, where we had a small luncheon with a few high net worth individuals and a couple portfolio managers, and then moving on to London today, which is very beautiful outside. You can't really tell right now because I'm in my hotel room. As it turns out, we ended up doing team calls with a few of the fund managers here in London. And then we have a couple more calls tomorrow. So I'll just give you a little rundown. What we've been seeing is that some of I would say the fund managers definitely seem to have a more keen interest in our South Mountain property, which is our more advanced polymetallic project it's all on patented ground, and they like that aspect that we could potentially get that in production within 2 to 3 years. So that seems to have been something that they really gravitated towards. Our Pangani property, I would have to say, because we went down to Africa, that was the highlight while we were down there. Zambia also was getting some good news flow. So Arc Minerals announced a deal with Anglo that they are potentially going to be acquiring them for $88 million. So and that's down in Zambia. And then First Quantum took the opportunity during that conference to announce that they were going to put in another $500 million for expanding their project down in Zambia. So there's lots of money out there going towards Africa. There seems to be a sense, and not in all countries, but there seems to be a sense that there is greater safety, especially in Zambia. The government regime has changed there recently, and HH has taken over and seems to be more pro-business. So we are seeing more interest in Zambia itself. We saw, I think, about half a dozen major companies that were showing an interest in what we were doing in Zambia because it has that potential for a tier 1 copper discovery. And obviously copper is pretty topical. with the metal prices not only being high, but of course with the interest in electric vehicles and electrification around the world, that there's going to be not just the demand now, but in the future and for probably many years to come. So copper is definitely getting a lot of attention. We saw that. And then finally, I would say that more of the high net worth individual types that we've been meeting seem to be more keen to listen about what we're doing in Japan. Japan is something that's very unique. There are really only a couple other companies exploring in Japan. And so we are seeing that is intriguing people, that we are exploring in Japan. As our investors know, Japan hosts the highest grade gold mine in the world, the Hishikari gold mine, which is, unbelievably high grade. It's producing between 30 to 4, well, has historically been producing at 30 to 40 grams per ton gold, which is over an ounce per gold per ton. And to put that in perspective, the worldwide average grade is somewhere around 1 gram per ton today for operating gold mines. So, 30 to 40 times what normal or today's average is. I understand Hishikari is producing right now at about 20 grams per ton, so still 20 times the multiple of what the average grade operating gold mines are today. So yeah, it's been a great trip. Oh, this is kind of the unveiling, I guess, or re-unveiling of BeMetals. And I'm going to head back to Vancouver tomorrow morning, and looking forward to doing some more marketing in the near future. And hopefully, if these video series was of interest to people, we can do more. But this is kind of just an experiment to just show people what we do on the road for BeMetals. So I'll close it off there and open it to Dasha, or if anybody's out there, if they have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Great. Thank you so much. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to submit them. But Derek, you've had a really busy 10 days. What has been the highlight from the trip so far?
Well, personally for me, just because I had never been down to South Africa, it was an eye-opening experience. It feels so foreign to travel 22 hours of flight time and another 6 or 7 hours of layovers. So it literally took almost 2 days for me to get over there. And then you kind of feel like you're going to be in a different world than you are, but it's for me anyways, it's kind of strange that you land in, it's a first world country. I mean, South Africa is, everybody speaks English there. Everybody understands you. It is actually fairly orderly. Sure, there are some aspects where there's infrastructure issues and whatnot, but it's a first class country. So I mean, it was really nice to see what it's like down there, and to see. I mean, you do hear about, South Africa is a dangerous place to be, and when I was heading down there, people were telling me to be careful, and I found that the people there were so fantastic and super friendly. So that was, on a personal level, was quite interesting. But from a business standpoint, what I got was that there's still so much interest in Africa itself and investing in Africa, and that there's lots of money out there to be put to work in Africa. Based on the major companies that we met down there, there's clearly billions of dollars that could be spent in Africa, and I would say, since we've been in London, especially, there's a pretty good appetite for investing. I know some North Americans are maybe not familiar with Africa, and so they're a little bit reluctant to invest over there in projects that are in Africa. But I don't see that with at least a number of the people that we've met so far in London, and also just in Germany and in Switzerland as well. I mean, there's just a better understanding for that area.
Right. Well, it's so great that the world's opening up and you're able to meet these investors in person. And thank you for, taking us with you on that journey. I hope the attendees also found it valuable. I definitely found it interesting. But we're definitely going to compile your trip up to a video and send it out to all the registrants for this event. So if you missed any of the cities, you'll be able to watch and get some insight. If there are no questions, feel we're going to wrap up here, but I just want to thank you again, Derek, for taking us through these 4 cities and providing us an inside scoop of what it's like. And of course, everyone who attended the sessions will be emailing out the video. So I'll just pass it back if you have any last remarks, but I'm sure you're on your last leg of the trip, so I bet you're a bit tired. And
It is time to go out for a drink. Yes. So thanks everybody, and thanks Tasha, especially yesterday because it was quite early. So thank you.
all right, thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.